Okay guys, in this video of UI Tech Center, we are not going to be talking about technology, but rather old technology. And what's old technology? Technology from back then, though. It's actually making a big comeback nowadays, so I feel that's pretty important to do a video on this since it's becoming a more newer content, like popular content, and it's something that people need to be informed of. Okay, now you may have seen this on the store. It's actually Victrola or a Crossbead. I personally recommend Victrola better, as Crossbeads can damage your vinyl over time. So you have the platter. You have the arm, and then under the arm you have the little needle that reads the vibrations. Here you have a little lever that's your speed, 33 RMP, 45 RMP, or 78 RMP, though this was mainly used in the 1920s, the 78. 45, you could still see some of those, and 33 are basically the ones that you see. And I'm going to show you how they look. And here you have this, it's like an adapter. Well, it is an adapter. And mine actually has this feature where it's a phonograph, meaning for the record player. Line in for aux, and Bluetooth for Bluetooth connectivity, and here's a volume. So now let's get into the vinyls that this thing uses. So this big album that you see here is a 33 RMP, which is the ones that you see, and these are the most popular ones. And this is just kidding. Okay, this is actually the 33 RMP. It's lower, and that's why it allows that's why it has to be bigger, since it's at a slower speed and it has more songs, so it's 33 RMP. As for this, it's smaller, but it just has one song on each side, so it's your 45 RMP. The other one, I don't have it, as it's pretty rare. But yeah, the one thing, this is basically the ones that you see more often, since it looks like this. And you might see some of these still around. They're not that rare, just saying. So this is actually the 45 RMP. See, it's smaller, and see, it's really not that much songs into it. It's just this little space compared to the other one that's bigger. See, just compare the sizes. See, you could literally put 4 of them on each side. So, what is the best way to do this? Or to at least make a good collection? Well, nowadays you have Spotify and all that, so you could easily tell whether you like your song or not. You don't, because you're not really purchasing it. But with the vinyl, it's actually a very important selection, since you see it, but you can play it to see if you like it. So the best thing that you could do is go to your local record shop, and just shop something that you might like. You just have to experiment and see what you like. That's the best way to say it. Just experiment with songs. You might like some of them. If not, if you don't like them, you could go resell them at the record shop. They usually have that. So yeah. That being said, let's see how to play this record players on the Victrola. But first off, let's talk about how should you not care for the record. So right now you see my record like on the surface. Well, guess what? That's a big no-no. Even with the 45, with any record actually, you can't do this because it's scratching the surface or whatever. Like it's. See here, you have the scratches. And another thing that you cannot do is literally grab it with the hand like this, like, because you're putting all your oils and all that into the grooves. which we're going to explain it later of how they actually make sounds. So best way to grab it is the edges only, just the edges, or the center, which it has to be like this, like seriously. I prefer grabbing it like this. See, I'm not touching anything. So yeah, that's how you should actually treat it. And for the cleaning, you also need special tools. I mean, not tools, like special things. I think Crossley sells them cheaper than Victrola, so, and they're pretty much the same thing, so you could actually buy those, but for the record player, you need to get something other than your Crossley. So now to play this, you just have to align this hole into the little thing right here, thingamabobber. There. So we don't need our adapter since it fits perfectly, right? So here we just need to get the thing. Some people, the first thing that they do whenever they see this and they're trying to play the song, well, of course, we need to turn it on. It's also the volume, so it's pretty cool. Most people will think that you grab it like this and pick it up and you do it like that. But no, actually, there's a small lever here. Just raise it up to raise this arm. See? And then you don't actually grab it like this and pick it up. You actually just slide it over with your finger. And it starts spinning. So you just slowly do it like that. And here's a major thing. Do not push it down. The lever also goes down. And this is going at 33 RPM. Because it's the big edition. Now, if you wish to skip a song, again, lift it up, slide it to your desired position, and put it down. No need to. There's really no need to even touch this thing or anything at all. So that's how you play the 33 RPM one. Now let's talk about the 45 RPM. So this one actually has more steps included, such as here you'll have an adapter located here on this part. You need to slide this thing in, as the other one has a bigger opening. See? So so this thing basically permits it to actually fit. So you still handle it the same way. It's easier though because it's way smaller. So you just put it in like that. And it slides into position. Now here's extra step. Here's the other extra step, I mean. You have to slide this thing to the 45 RPM. Raise the lever up. And align it with the starting position. Still not satisfied. Now I'm a brand new man. So now let's talk about how that needle could actually make music. So here you have this regular grooves. They look straight, right? Hold on, let me give you an example. So these grooves look straight, right? They pretty much look like this. But really, these things, if you were to zoom it in, I don't have the best camera, guys, so I really cannot zoom it in that well. Well, if you were to zoom it in, it actually looks like this. It's not straight. See, so this would be the needle. Pretend this is the needle. So it's actually going like this, and it's hitting every single bump. And it's like basically like you tapping this. It's making a sound, right? So it's actually making those sounds and they're basically vibrations that get amplified. So they're getting amplified as, yeah. So this thing sends a vibration to an amplifier, and the amplifier sends it to speakers. Now let's see that in action. So if I'm correct, this thing has a little point which acts as a needle. And this thing, if you tap it, it makes it large. It makes a bigger sound, which is like an amplifier. See? So using that knowledge, we're going to see the amplifier and all that in action. So I'm going to raise it up. Slide it. I'm not going to slide it. Well, I'm just going to leave it like that. It's going to make a lot of jumping sounds since my hand cannot keep straight. And see, that's basically how it works. So I hope that answers some of your questions about the record players and the vinyls. So thank you guys for watching. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, or whatever. And also try to explore new things.